Are you ready to talk about this?
What are we talking about?
We are talking about how I met my white boyfriend. I've actually never dated a white guy. He approached me and he was like, "You exotic."
You view it as the total opposite, like, oh, I'm just some fetish to you.
I'm getting sexually harassed. Yeah. Someone sending me inappropriate photos. Can you please give me a new number? Have you ever dated a black girl before?
Wow. The photos matched, the name was on point. I had to meet this girl.
Hi, y'all. Hi, babe.
Hey, baby.
I'm so excited.
Wow. The story that everyone's been asking about. It's been going crazy on TikTok. Some of the comments as well.
Yeah, like we've been getting quite a lot of DMs, and people have been asking us how they can get into interracial relationships. Love that question. And hopefully we can address, our journey leading up to eventually connecting and me moving to Canada, and also my unrealistic expectations of connecting with someone organically.
The romanticizing
Romance is not
to the dating apps to
Yeah.
not the dating apps.
Yeah.
Where did we meet, y'all? Where did we meet?
Yeah. So I'm ready. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. And yeah, hopefully our conversation can help others who are interested and inspired to be, dating interracially to see what those initial conversations are like. Let's do it. Let's do it, baby.
I want to start this off by letting you guys know that I've actually never dated a white guy. Like Mark is the first white guy that I've dated.
I feel so honored, babe. So honored.
Sometimes initially I worried about not being experienced and, whether our different cultures might clash, but
Who needs experience? Experience is overrated.
yeah, it is. I mean, like now we've proved it, right? So I would say that I've never actually dated a white guy, not because I've been, totally against it. And I've been one of those people that's like, nope, I only date my race. It's just that, growing up in Cape Town and being from Cape Town, it's not easily accessible to date people that are outside of your culture. I guess just organically, it's never led me to being, with a white guy. I did try the apps in Cape Town. I think I tried Tinder once, maybe, and Tinder just didn't do it for me. But we're gonna chat about the apps in a little bit.
Totally.
Right.
And it sounds like Vancouver just provided a little more opportunity for that, right? It's very diverse, very multicultural here. So, yeah. So, did that have anything to do with it?
Yeah, not just Vancouver. I've also heard and I've looked at the statistics. Canada, like on the East Coast too, it's quite diverse. There's so many immigrants from all walks of life, so the chances of you connecting with someone that's from your race is actually quite slim. You're actually more likely to connect with someone that's from a different racial group because of how multicultural this city is. And I love it for that. Like all the time we see just different types of couples, interracial couples, maybe not white and black as often, but like maybe different other races, right?
I love it for that too,
Yeah.
for obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons.
So let's get into it. That year, that magical year of 2022, you had just gotten to Canada. And what was your mindset when it came to dating and what you were looking for? How were you going to maybe approach that whole scary area?
Honestly, babe, I did not have a plan. I've never planned things that way. I was just so excited with moving to Canada. I was like on that, I just moved to a new country, new life, new me, And I wasn't really too concerned about dating, even though I had been single for like maybe a couple of years. So I was definitely emotionally ready to date, but I wanted to know my surroundings, I wanted to know what this new city that I just moved to was all about. So,
And you got to know your surroundings very well. Granville Street.
oh yes.
Some crazy pickup stories there.
Yeah, I mean, coming into summer, I decided to start dating, but at least not start dating, but start being open to like at least, when a guy speaks to me in a store, I'm more like, okay, yeah, like let's have this conversation, should I feel like this person is, okay.
What was
So
the
here's
craziest
that.
place someone came up and tried to talk to you?
It would be the Sky Train. There was a guy that approached me. I was standing in the Sky Train, guys. Like, it was wild. He approached me and he was like, "You exotic." And I was like, like, what? Like, I didn't say this to him because I didn't want to engage in more conversation. I didn't want to shame that I'm curious or want to know more. But I just thought to myself, like, how do you approach someone and tell them straight up?
That was his opener?
That was
Isn't that pure like code red word, like run for the hills when you hear that?
I've had it a couple of times. In the moment those words come out of someone, though that compliment comes out of someone's mouth, I am gone. I do not even entertain the conversation anymore. You are dead.
They think it's a compliment.
Yeah.
They think that for some reason that you like hearing that, whereas you view it as the total opposite. Like, oh, I'm just some fetish to you or something.
Exactly. When someone tells me that they see me as exotic, kind of means that they kind of want to try out this thing that they've never tried out before just to see how it goes. Like when you see a fruit that is like maybe you've never tried it and you've never seen it
Tropical
before.
fruit.
Yeah, it is an
You're
exotic
tropical.
fruit. That would be another one that would have me running for the hill.
Why? And didn't someone approach you in like the Apple store? That's a crazy one.
Yeah, someone approached me in the Apple store, but you know what? I actually respect them for that because do you know how full the Apple stores get here? And in order to try and pick someone up with all these eyes on you, like, big ups to that person. But obviously, I still didn't find them attractive at all.
Yeah.
And so I decided to not engage really.
So it sounds like the whole organic and public brandos coming up to you, it sounds like that didn't go so well.
Yeah, I mean, look, it
Right.
might sound like I don't give like the guys that approach me organically, I didn't give them a chance. I actually gave this one guy a chance in the sense that I gave him my number and we chatted for about a week. And I started realizing some really weird stuff about his texts. So then, before we even met for a formal date, I said, "No, this ain't it for me." And I told him, and
So he didn't make it to the in person.
no, and he got so touched about it that he kept spamming me with very inappropriate photos, and I had to change my number, y'all. So
You got to change it a few, but that was a crazy story.
Yep, I had to change my number, and
Because you kept blocking the number, and then
yeah,
these texts kept coming in.
yeah,
For how many times?
yeah, I kept blocking every single number that came in with these inappropriate texts until I called my service provider and I was like, guys, I'm getting sexually harassed. Yeah, someone's sending me inappropriate photos. Can you please, like, give me a new number? And they were totally understanding. They didn't charge me for this. And I got a new number. That's when I hopped onto our app, which I'll tell you guys in a little bit. But before we get there, babe, I would like to ask you a question.
Okay.
Have you ever dated a black girl before?
Wow. No, have not dated a black girl before. I had been on a few dates, but just never really connected with someone to the level where it was, holy cow, we vibe so much that we're gonna really go down this, serious path and develop a connection. And I think it's just rare in general to meet someone that you want to, explore a really serious connection with. And then if you also add on uh, how rare it is to be in an interracial relationship, and that is just not something you see every day. So I think in general, it wasn't because I didn't want to be. It's just a very unlikely occurrence. And I will say of the few black women that I did go on dates with, I just didn't meet someone that had like the whole package, right? Just, I mean, again, that's just so hard to find someone that really matches everything that you're kind of looking for until I found you, right? Just that they didn't have the sweet, loving, curious, intelligent package that you have, babe, on top of her obvious gorgeous looks.
And so I'm thinking during summer of 2022, while I was trying to discover the city, were you just sitting on the apps and spacing out, waiting for me to show up? What were you doing that summer?
That's so funny. I was actually traveling that year, 2022. So I actually got back in June of that year. Time for you had your hot girl summer, my hot dude summer, and just enjoying. I mean, Vancouver, as we know, is so beautiful in the summer. Couple months of the year, guys, be there for it. And yeah, that was really it. I'd been away for about a year, just kind of enjoying being back, and then led into the fall, and was really ready to, you know, put myself out there again and meet someone and find like a really serious connection.
Yeah, so you telling me you weren't dating anyone that summer? This whole
Yes, I was.
stuff out.
I was dating someone that summer. It was just like one of these little summer flings. Thought it was maybe serious, turned out to not be serious. But I didn't want to let that discourage me from still pursuing something that was serious, because I think it's very easy to get out of a relationship and get down about your future prospects. So I didn't let it get me down. And I'm happy that it didn't, because I I'd say like relatively shortly after met you.
Yeah.
So I'm super thankful for that.
Sounds like we both just went through, maybe not the best experiences with other people before we met. And I feel like that's just a testament to you could have had a very terrible experience, but don't allow that to get into the way of you actually finding your person, or at least you making that effort that you need to make in order to find your person. Okay, babe. So, what was the app? Tell us about it.
What was that? What's that? It's that fuzzy one that might be a little yellow with a bee buzzing around. Bumble. I actually found Bumble to really just be the more of a sweet spot between, real genuine people, but also people that weren't trying to get married on the third date. So yeah, guys, I was one day in November swiping through, and came across this gorgeous woman's profile. And before I swiped, I don't know what it was. I was just feeling the energy. I just felt like obviously initially attracted to you, but I think just on some of your write up, just seemed like such a bubbly, fun loving, happy, genuine person. I just could really connect with that. So I was like, I'm gonna see if I can find her also somewhere else. So maybe improve my chances at getting a response. Which turns out I would actually need that luck later. But yeah, found Afani on IG, and I was so lucky because when I typed in your name, and then she had the exact same profile photo as the one on Bumble. Wasn't your name like a week ago at the time different?
Yeah. I don't like it when people can find me easily on social media. So I didn't have my name there maybe just a week before that, or even a
Alias.
day.
The alias.
Yeah, like I don't like it when people at work can find me, y'all. So I try to keep that low key. So my profile picture was different. My name was also very different. Wild. And then when I promise you, it must have been the day that you either messaged me or the day before. I had just changed my profile picture and I was ready for people at work and everyone else to find me. So I put my name out there.
It's actually so crazy because even if your photo was the same, if your name was anything other than Afani, I wouldn't have found you. So yeah, before swiping, I searched her on Instagram and kept the profile because I was like, well, if I swipe and I match, I'll be able to chat with her in there. But I did the famous swipe and I did not get the famous match icon right after I swiped. So ain't rejected. But more recently, I learned, and my ego took a huge hit, that she actually didn't swipe on me, guys. She swiped left, and yeah, ego was shot through the floor.
Babe, I really don't mean to take a hit at your ego. I'm so sorry.
It's all good.
But I actually want to know because this isn't something that I really share with people. But did you pay for Bumble?
Ooh, the question that probably no one wants to admit to.
Yeah.
I did pay. I think that anyone serious looking for something serious that's on the apps in a serious capacity is probably going to need to pay for it in some instance to, it'll give you a few swipes. So if you're really serious about finding your person, you probably need I don't know, their paid version of some sort.
I actually paid for Bumble also. I was never, trying to play games on dating apps. But I was also not that person on Hinge trying to get married tomorrow or anything, right? But I just didn't want to go on like so many dates and they all just low quality dates, right? So I decided to pay for Bumble because I feel like Bumble like really promoted, that paid subscription quite well.
The bees are buzzing.
Yeah. And I am a serial swiper in the sense that I doom scroll. Like sometimes I go on autopilot and I'll find myself scrolling. Honestly, I will admit to that. But, I don't remember seeing your profile. I'm
Just
so
no one
sorry.
memorable.
So I,
No one memorable.
no, I honestly feel like I genuinely did mistakenly swipe past you.
Maybe you had another date lined up that didn't matter.
I wouldn't be swiping if that was the case. But I also found it really difficult navigating the paid subscription of the app where if I had mistakenly swiped twice, right, incorrectly, so I skipped two profiles and again realized that I made that mistake, they should allow us to I'm good.
So that's the story, eh? She swiped too many. You need a double unswipe. The double unswipe.
Yeah.
No, it's all good, babe. You were, you had a lot going on, so it's okay. It's,
Yeah.
and you also, like you said, you didn't know. It's so hard to tell on a swipe if it's someone you actually, want to get to know. But back to, where I was at.
Yeah.
I had obviously made the swipe, didn't get the match, but I had her IG, guys. I had her IG. The photos matched. The name was on point. This is her. This is her. So I loaded up the DM, and I was actually, I don't know if Instagram allows you to actually send. Some people can even set it to not be able to message.
Yeah.
You can set that feature.
Yeah.
So luckily you had messages open. So I got lucky with even being able to send that through. And yeah, I just sent a very chill message. No crazy pickup lines or punch lines. It was just, hey, my name is Mark. Nice to meet you. And, it looks like you kind of just got to Vancouver not too long ago. How are you liking the city? I think it might have said something from Cape Town. It said, I see you're from Cape Town. I've always wanted to go there. Something like that. Not that long. Didn't send her an essay. We have the receipts too. We have the receipts.
Yeah.
I actually framed the first page of our conversation as part of my anniversary gift.
Yeah.
Our last did this earlier this year.
Yeah, we still have the receipts there all.
I'll show you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to dodge another hoop before she even responded. She took my profile to a friend. Thank God for this friend to put my profile through more rigorous qualification criteria.
So I connected with my friend. She's from the East Coast. And I was like, hey, girl, this guy just DM'd me. This is what he said. What do you think? And she called me up straight and she was like, I am just being difficult and I need to stop being all uptight and stuff. And I need to give this guy a chance. She was definitely rooting for you, babe. She was on your side here because I took her advice and I responded.
So I had to dodge the no connection on the no match. I had to dodge the name change on IG that didn't get changed until the right amount of time. I had to dodge the does she respond, because she's now running my profile through verification checks with a friend. So guys, I had to go through the ringer here to get a response from this woman.
You were so gentle. You were so patient. He didn't double text. And I'm very appreciative of that because that can sometimes seem a little bit cray-cray. Oh, you double text.
I can. Crazy.
You know?
Don't send the double text or essays I didn't send an essay. It was a very just chill message.
Very chill, very respectful, very demure, very
I
mindful.
was so pumped, guys. Like when she responded, and you responded in such a warm manner too. It wasn't like this standoff, like, hey, it was very just welcoming, and it was just a normal response, which was so encouraging to see. And we just hit it off from there.
Yeah, that's Cape Townians, babe. Cape Townians are such welcoming people. We've got this thing called Ubuntu, where it means the spirit of togetherness, So, yeah, being Cape Townian, like just very friendly, but also very friendly in the right situations, right? And that was the right
Yeah.
situation to be friendly.
Yeah, the conversation was it was electric. It was electric. The energy was there, and I could just tell you were just such a genuinely incredibly like warm and loving person. And I was just, I think we spoke for a couple of days, and they weren't just one text a day. It was a fluid, steady conversation. Like I had to meet this girl, y'all. And that's when I asked you to meet up for a coffee
Yeah.
date on the Saturday.
Yeah, but you know what? In those chats, you made me feel so seen and so heard because you understood that I was, basically like, a completely new person in this jungle that you've been living in for such a long time. And you connected with me, and reassured me by letting me know, hey, yeah, it's going to be difficult, to make some friends here. It's tough and all of that. And I felt heard. And that was quite important in our initial connections. It also showed that you listen, you empathize. And that's how it got me to say, yes, let's go on that date.
Holidays prep. I've never heard you share that before. That's amazing, babe. Yeah, I just wanted to have again at that stage of my life. There's no time for games or any of this stuff. I just want to have a real conversation with someone. I think you hit a point where all that, all those games and the pickup lines or the all that fluff is just it's not it, guys. It's just not it. And I was so happy that you were at the same stage. I just wanted to have a nice, friendly, real conversation.
Yeah.
And I thought coffee was a good start, right? I think it can get a little intense if you ask people to dinner right away or plan some crazy extravagant date. That's it. That's how she met her white boyfriend.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have so many other cool stories to share with you guys. Obviously our first few dates, but also just other aspects of like the challenges of leading up to being in an interracial relationship, navigating friends, family. There's a lot to consider there. And obviously, in those initial conversations, those could all be going well and the connection could be building, but then actually starting to think, what's life going to be like?
Yeah.
How are other people going to accept? How are they going to fit into my life with everything? So yeah, we're excited to share all these stories with you guys. A lot of cool videos ahead.
Yeah, but for my message to ladies out there that are looking, to be in a interracial relationship, I would say that in the beginning, don't listen to what other people have to say to you in terms of who you should be with and who you shouldn't be with. And also, don't try too hard to force something. Go for someone that you connect with organically, whether you meet them on the apps or you meet them organically. Just always stay true to yourself, be organic, and be able to suss out when someone is not being truthful and organic, regardless of their racial.
Follow Afani's 5-step verification criteria process and you will never fail.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great advice, babe.
Do you have any advice for the gents out there
Yeah,
that are
absolutely.
trying to be with a black woman?
Absolutely. Well, you know what? I'd actually start with that. And I'd say, it's all well and fine to have like, you know, initial attraction or like, different people that maybe you tend to be more attracted to, but really stick to like the person, trying to fit a vision you have into, trying to force something is just never going to work. And aside from all the initial beauty and material stuff, it's like it's the person. It's who are you? What are you into? What are your values? Um, you know, what kind of how do you love someone? How do you need to be loved? Like there's all these things that are so important where honestly color just goes right out the window pretty quickly. So I would just say lead with that. And initially, when you're messaging people or you're talking to people, just don't be afraid. Be you. Just talk to someone like you would talk to your friend, right? You don't need any fancy pickup lines or fancy openers. If someone needs a fancy opener or a fancy pickup line from you, they're just not it, guys. Now, if that's your thing, then roll with it. But if it's not your thing, just don't try to be someone else. Just be you, and the right person's going to respond. The right person's going to connect with you and see you for who you are. I think you had said it. We live in a world today where there's just so much bad. There's a lot of bad experiences out there. There's a lot of humans with malintentions out there. So I think it's, you know, you can stand out even more so now by just being yourself. Be just a good person.
Thank you so much for joining us in this video today. And I'm so happy that we had that opportunity to share our story with you guys. And we look forward to hearing more from you.
100%. Yeah. If you guys have any questions about just things that we are to overcome, anything about, what it's like to be in an interracial relationship, how we dealt with some of those challenges, just drop them in the comments below. We want to hear from you guys. And we're going to be putting out a ton of content that follows our journey and the hurdles we had to jump and just the real truths around what it's like dating someone from another culture and being in an interracial relationship. It's a ton of fun. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life.
Same, baby.
But it's like anything, there's going to be ups and downs. So, hopefully this is a safe space where we can kind of share those and connect with you guys and tell you about them. And you can tell us about your guys' challenges as well. So a lot of cool videos to come, a lot of amazing conversations to come, and just so excited, Dave. I'm so pumped for this. So happy we're doing this.
So we walked so that y'all can run. And we look forward to sharing our journey with you guys.
See you guys in the next one.